Hello everybody, Waldos is here for another Maker Machinations video, bringing you your daily dose of death traps. Today, I'm going to talk about something I think a lot of people will benefit from, because today we're talking about how to get more raids on your outposts. As always, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, for more Meet Your Maker content, as I am new to YouTube and it does really help me out. So you've built a cool outpost, set it to active, but you're having nobody actually come in and raid it. I've had the same issue before and it absolutely sucks, but there are some things that you can do to maximise the amount of raiders that you'll get over your outpost's lifetime. So let's take a look at a few. Number 1. Choose your site wisely. There are a few key factors to picking the ideal site upon which to build your monument to raider slaughter, the first of which is the amount of genmat. Below each relic site, you'll see a number up to a maximum of 9,000 that indicates the amount of genmat that the HRV can extract from your outpost before it becomes dormant, thus giving you a timer as to how long your outpost can stay active during the course of each prestige rotation. The higher this number, the longer your base will remain active. The two main values that you'll see here tend to be 4,500, which is 12 hours, and 9,000, which is 24 hours. You normally want to avoid anything lower than 4,500 because you won't have enough time to get many raiders into your base before it expires. Finding a site with high enough genmat and capacity can take quite a while however, so consider saving up your synthite for a few rerolls to help you find the ideal location, or make sure you're checking back each day at the point at which they refresh. Tip number 2, site types. So alongside the amount of genmat that I just talked about, each site has a specific type of genmat that it gives, and this has a direct impact on how many people will come in and raid your base. See, each individual site gives their genmat to one of the NPCs found in the sanctuary. This is the same for you extracting it as a builder, but also for those running your base and getting the actual genmat out of it. The icon that you can see next to this genmat section corresponds to the leveling icons shown at the top of the screen for each individual NPC, or shown above their stations in Sanctuary itself. As each NPC gives a specific unique boost effect, leveling some of these is more valuable than others, as at each level of the NPC, the duration of the boost will increase. In particular, Prota, the trap NPC, as well as Elpida, the hardware NPC, give synthite and genmat respectively, the two most valuable resources currently in the game. As such, these are more likely to get raided due to people leveling those NPCs to increase the duration of the boosts. Tip number 3 is to make an interesting thumbnail. Just like on YouTube, you want to clickbait people into your outposts, so make sure your base has an interesting looking design that is clearly visible within the thumbnail. You can even use things like floating boxes to write a short single word message for people to see to encourage them to come and attend that outpost. In my case for this example here, you can see that I've written the word loot in big letters over the doorway, and this is because I bring the players past the Forgotten Vaults for easy resources, and I find that it actually increases the amount of raiders that I'm getting quite a lot. A little message can go a long way. And on the subject of Forgotten Vaults, just a general base building tip, do make sure when you're setting up your base to scout your map to find where your Forgotten Vaults are, and do try and include them in your base, as it is a common courtesy to guide the players to these vaults, as they are free resources that don't impact you negatively as a builder. Tip number 4 is prestige. It's normal to get low raids on your first levels of an outpost. As an outpost levels, however, it will slowly increase those raid amounts, and at level 5, it becomes a champion outpost, meaning it gets recommended out to players from a much smaller pool of bases. So if your base raids are low, but enough to get you to the next level of prestige, then stick it out until at least your base goes champion at level 5, at which point you should get more raids onto your outpost. Tip number 5 is difficulty. If all else fails, aim your base to be in the dangerous difficulty category. This seems to be where most raiders are currently raiding, as you get more resources than you do from a normal base, but they're much easier to clear than brutal bases where you tend to find most of the current kill boxes. As such, putting your outpost in this difficulty means you're much more likely to get raids in, especially when you hit that prestige level. And that is it for today's tips, and they're the best ways that I've found personally of getting more people into my outposts. Now, as time goes on, it's likely that there'll start being other ways of getting people into your bases, so I will do another video as things change over time, but currently these are the best ways that I've found of getting people into your outposts. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have a social outpost that you would like me to raid, then make sure to add it onto the comments so I can drop by and take a look. But for now, happy building, and I'll see you in the Wastelands.